Hi, welcome back to the Louis Hunting Podcast. This is Levi, and this week our guest is Steph Lane. I'm here by myself without Wesley. He has to be working, sadly. It's part of being on second shift. But so Steph is with the Pass It On Outdoor Mentors and the Woods and Water Project, which is her podcast. Go ahead and give us an update. You've been on here, I think, 3 times now, or this is your 3rd time?
I think this is my 3rd time. Yeah.
So give us an update. Go ahead and...
Yeah. You just cut me off whenever, because if people remember me, I can talk. So, so my full-time job is I work for a nonprofit called Pass It On Outdoor Mentors. I'm the Iowa coordinator. And last time I was on, I was kind of talking about like what we look for mentors, what we're doing to take kids out. And this September will be my 4th year with Pass It On. And in that time, like my first year, we did like 50 hunts, and this year we're going to do well over 200 hunts across Iowa. And then for right now, I'm our Missouri coordinator also. So I'm also helping us grow into Missouri. We're in Kansas, Iowa, Wisconsin, and then we're currently getting into Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Michigan.
So you just gave numbers on Iowa for 200 hunts this year. You're looking projected, or is that how many are signed up?
No, like my goal is at least 201, but I'm projected at like 215, 220 across the state.
So how many hunts does this organization put on?
Yeah, we should, as an organization this year, we'll do 800, probably more. This
that's
year.
pretty good.
Yep. And our coordinators are in Kansas, Iowa, and Wisconsin. So just like myself, like helping in Missouri, we have a couple of coordinators helping us just like kind of get our foot like into other states so we can just like keep growing this thing.
Yeah, and it's special what you do, because you are mainly for kids and women, right?
Yeah, so Pass It On, people get confused all the time, especially in Iowa, because it's just me for either organization. So for Pass It On, it's kids 11 to 22. Any kid, as long as they have hunter's ed, can go on hunts with us. We also do fishing. For fishing, the hunter's ed doesn't matter, but we are insured and everything. So part of that is like having these kids have hunter's education. So they do have to have that with us. 11 to 22 years old, they can go as much as they want. It's free, besides, of course, their own license and permits and stuff. And then Woods and Waters Project is actually my organization. I started that in 2018. It started off as like, I really got into archery at a young age, and it really started off as me teaching adults how to shoot a bow and how to bow hunt. And then it like turned into turkey hunts and upland and classes and all this different stuff. And so it was just an Iowa-based company. And then it turned into a podcast. And then now I do women's events all over the country.
So have you done an event recently? Because I know that last year you guys, Wesley came and helped out with, what was it, an archery
Yeah, he helped
class?
with the Learn to Bow Hunt camp. It was really good.
Have you done another one of those since?
Yeah, we had one scheduled, and we postponed it for, there's just like a lot of stuff going on I had multiple instructors, and we just had to postpone it, but we will have another one, and I'm hoping Wesley will help with it. I think he will. He was awesome. He did a ton of our tree stand demonstration for the ladies and safety, and he did so good. And I don't think he's ever done anything like that before.
I don't think so.
I think he was like a little nervous at first, but he did so good, and generously actually gave away a tree stand to one of the women too. We like raffled it off kind of thing, gave it away. And we also had help from Tom Goldsmith with Plum Creek. He's so awesome. He was one of the instructors and was just so incredibly helpful. He actually gave away a mentored hunt to 2 of the ladies, and they hunted on his like private land, which was really cool. And then Corey Bellings, who's a Bellevue archery coach, also is one of the instructors. So those like group of guys were incredible, and we've all talked about doing it again. So hopefully we will. They're just such a good group of guys to work with, and it was a really, really awesome weekend.
I know I was really hoping that you'd do a waterfowl one. That's my big shtick.
I have done, last year I did a women's like goose hunt weekend in northern Iowa, and it was a hit. It was one of my quickest filling events. If anyone's listening to this and like wants to host events like I do, as long as you're set up to do it or have the right people, waterfowl ones are super popular and they fill up really fast because like no one's doing that. So The goose hunt went really well. The geese were not flying for us well that day, which was super frustrating because the permission on the property I got is right across the street from my house, and there were geese there.
So you're sitting there watching them
I'm like,
for like a week ahead of time.
Yeah, and then we had got permission on a private pond to go after some ducks, and some wood ducks came in, and the ladies all missed, unfortunately. The only thing that died that weekend was a pigeon, so...
Just one pigeon?
Yeah.
Just one lonely...
One pigeon, yeah. Hey, but it was a blast.
It happens. I get it. I mean, you're hunting... I don't know how long you've been hunting for. Probably, 15, 16, 20 years?
I'm 34, and since I was 4.
Okay, so 30 years.
30 years, yeah.
That's longer than I've been alive.
It is?
Yeah.
You're just
I'm 28.
baby.
I am, I'm 28. But I've been hunting since I was 3, so not far from you with the hunting in years experience-wise. But, I mean, I've missed more times than I've probably come in contact, to be honest. When it comes to birds, pigeons, pheasants, quail, grouse, ducks especially, because they're super duper fast, geese, we all miss. And I think a lot of that has to come down to people just like, pull the trigger.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, how much really, there's not very many people who like get out and shoot all the time for practice anyway. Like if you're not practicing and shooting like in the off season or in your like free time, like you gotta miss a few times. So really that is like practice in my head. Like that's the only way to know like what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
Is to take a shot. Now I say that like hesitating because I want people to make ethical, clean shots, right? Like and kill the animals. But I mean, waterfowl shooting at ducks and geese is very different than shooting at pheasants or clays.
Pheasants seem to fly a lot flatter and straighter, and ducks are just like, I'm getting shot at. Like, I'm going to go that way. Oh, never mind, I'm going that way,
Right, yeah.
And geese are kind of the same way. Geese are a little easier, I would say, just because they're
But then you add, like, speckle bellies or snow geese. Yeah. That is different than, like, a Canada goose, I've
actually never done either one of those.
Yeah.
Because we don't... this is really the only area I hunt, so we don't really get specks around here, and the ones that we get they're usually, like, super high migrators.
Yeah.
And we hear them and we're like, listen to the giggling chickens. And it's like, bye.
I'm hosting a women's speckle belly hunt in Arkansas in January.
I've seen that.
I've got 2 spots open, and I have like 6 women who said they're going to sign up for it. And I'm like, just wait. I feel like it's such a small group this time. And I'm like, it's going to get filled really fast. So if you're interested, sign up before someone else does. Cause I'm pumped. I love speckle belly.
And you said that's down in Arkansas?
Yeah.
That would be...
That's like the place to waterfowl hunt.
Yeah, well, because that's where all of the flyways merge into one. So that would be, if you're going to be picking up going to Arkansas for any type of hunt, when it comes to waterfowl wise, you better not pass that one.
Yeah, I've been to Arkansas duck and goose hunting, I think 3 or 4 times now. And I will try to go like every other year for the rest of my life if I could. It's just like, I don't know. I'm like addicted to going there.
I have a goal. I have a goal to hunt. What is there? 9 states that touch the Mississippi, I think is what it is. And obviously I knock out 2 every year, which is Iowa and Illinois. I always get an Illinois tag because there's better from where I live at. There's better hunting on that side, in my opinion, between the National Wildlife Fish and Game Refuge, from wherever in Minnesota all the way down to, what is it, Clinton, maybe a little further than that, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
And
that's where I grew up. Duck hunting is the first thing I ever did. And like the Clinton area is where I grew up going.
Oh, so that's a great area. Yeah, so you probably hunted in places that I've hunted without even knowing each other before then.
It's crazy. That is probably so true. Small world.
Oh, yeah. But either way, so I knock out Iowa and Illinois every year. Well, my goal is, and I don't know if it's going to happen this year, next year, whenever, I want to start north and basically follow the migration down. And I'm kind of reluctant on bringing my dog with.
Yeah.
Because once you get south far enough, there's alligators.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of afraid of those things.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the first times, I think it was the first time I was in Arkansas, duck hunting. I did a flooded timber hunt, and the guides were talking about in the truck, like on the way to the spot, they were talking about like this young gator that was like in the ditch or whatever. And I like didn't really like think about it. And they were like in the flooded timber, and everything looks very gatory out there. Like, and it's cold, you know? So then, and I'm from Iowa, so like gators is like not a thing for us, right? Like that's not something we
I would absolutely never. I would cry if I seen one.
Yeah. So then I was standing there thinking about it, and I'm like, do I have to worry? Like, you just were talking about gators. Like, are there gators here? They're like, well, yeah, there are, but they're pretty docile, and it's cold, and like they don't care about you. They're like, really, the thing you have to worry about are the snakes. Like, there's multiple snakes here that'll, you know, like
bite you and kill you.
Yeah. But it did freak me out. But I never saw a gator, and I didn't even think about it. And and we had a dog with us the whole time, and people make their whole livelihood. That is like, right. That is like Arkansas heritage, you know? So you probably don't have as much to worry about, but like, because it's not your everyday, I would be anxious. Well,
because I want to go down to Louisiana and Mississippi as well.
Sure.
And I want to get down there. Like, I actually want to be in the swamps when I hunt those areas.
Yeah.
And that's where I actually worry about it.
Louisiana, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, Arkansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, you know, I don't really think, that doesn't really cross my mind when I'm up there, or down there, I guess, from here.
Yeah.
But when I go down and I get into Mississippi and Louisiana, that is going to be in my mind basically the entire time. I'm going to be getting a pole that I can like dip into the water to grab my decoys out. I'm probably not getting in the water. Like, I'm a little baby when it comes, they're freaking huge and they can eat me, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just not my thing.
No.
But it's a goal of mine.
Yeah.
And I don't want to just hunt the northern edge of it, you know? I want to get down in there. I want to get to where the swamps are and actually want to hunt the way I envision it.
Yeah, that's a really cool goal. I think that sounds really epic. I feel similar about turkey hunting, because if I could just like turkey hunt every state in the United States, if I could just like do anything, that's like what I'd do.
That's what Wesley and I are trying right now.
Are you? Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Like together, or like kind of together. Like, yeah, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, we were going to be going to North Carolina last year, but you know how things go. Life happens. Didn't get down there.
Yeah.
But we're gonna push to get there next year.
That's how I feel about like going to like Georgia or Florida turkey hunting, and you know the prices of going through like an outfitter have gone up so much, especially for like an Osceola in Florida. But I really want to do that, and I just don't know if I feel confident enough in myself and my scouting abilities to go there where there are gators and panthers, you know, and snakes.
And pythons, big ass pythons.
Yeah, I'm like that. I feel the same way about that turkey hunt. Like I get that. I'm like, I could do that myself. I'm like, no, I can't. I don't want to.
There's actually an episode on here with a buddy of ours who lives in Savannah, right across the river here. Mm-hmm. He was down there hunting them, and it's on one of the episodes with Joey Sullivan is his name. If you want to try to find him, can't remember which episode it was, but it was the last one we had with him, and he talked about an Osceola hunt, and he said that he was walking through this area and he felt something hit him in the chest, and he thought it was just a stick. Well, it turns out he had this python wrapped up over his shoulder, and he didn't even realize it.
Nope.
And then he tells another story about how like they had to get they almost had to call rescue because they were so far down in wherever they were at, away from civilization.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like we had to cross this canal that was like basically chest deep, and well, they looked, because it got so dark they had to use headlamps, and they were looking, and all they could see was all the gator's eyes.
Nope.
All over. And he said finally the guide it wasn't a guide, it was a guy that is a friend of his, was like, we're doing it, we're crossing right here. And he's like, what? He goes, yeah. He's like, it's dark, it's chilly, they ain't gonna bother you. So they ended up crossing the canal, and the rest of the story I'm not telling you, but just know it's a hairy story.
That's what I mean. Like that is not something I grew up doing, or an environment I'm like comfortable in. So maybe if I'd done it a couple times with like someone I trusted and learned from them, that's something I could eventually do myself. But my first time, I feel the same. Like I'm such an like so blessed to be in Iowa where there's not anything that
Yeah,
scary.
no kidding.
I just like am not competent in that area. So
Yeah, but we have a different type of scary up here. You know, we have a scary that you can't get away from, which is the cold.
Oh.
You know, the weather up here is totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard it on many different podcasts that people talk about the Northerners are a different breed. I mean, I just said it the other day. I don't even wear gloves when I go out duck hunting. It can be like -10 degrees and I ain't got gloves on.
Yeah.
I just stick them in my pouch like a little bandolier that goes on my waist.
Those are the best, honestly. I think those are better than gloves anyway.
I just stick them in there and hey, here comes the ducks. Quack. Bang. You know? That's all I do.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Like, I was in like Northern California once during the fires, like back in 2017-ish, when they were really bad. And when I was passing through this like little town, there was all these people like held up in this gas station, tiny little town in Northern California. And I'm like, what is everybody doing? And what's going on? They're like, oh, we were all just relocated here from the wildfires, you know. And they're like, oh, honey, where are you from? And I said, Iowa. They're like, you can have the tornadoes. We'll deal with the fires. I'm like, no way that you think your home being in flames is not as bad as a possible tornado. But it's like all about perspective, you know?
Yeah, but I can see the perspective from it because they know that the wildfire is coming. Typically, you know, if they're however many miles away from it.
They could get out of it.
Yeah, a tornado could literally drop in this house right now without us even knowing it and just, they were gone.
Yeah, that's true.
Like we're here and then, you know, tornadoes like, this is what I'm going to do today.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, no, totally. That's awesome about the turkey hunts. I'll have to follow along and like see how you guys are doing because turkey hunting's, I mean, anything with my dogs is probably my favorite. And then turkey hunting is like the close second.
We have a whole family of dogs, don't you? I mean, there's like, what, 7 of them?
No, we have 9 right now. Yeah.
That's a lot of dogs.
They're all they're all like upland bird dogs. We have English setters, Brittany's, and a little English cocker named Cowboy.
That's the one that you just got, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's so cute. I see him all the time on Facebook
cute.
and everything.
Yeah, he is so cute. He's super fun. All our other dogs are pointers. Like they point the bird, and he'll be our little flusher. So he'll come in next to one of us and break up like the bird. We'll see how that goes. Some of our dogs I can't imagine would like that very much, him coming in and breaking up their stuff, but it'll be cool.
So do you use these dogs when you go for guided hunts?
Yeah. So my boyfriend does some guiding. It's kind of like his, mine, and ours kind of situation. So he had a pile of his own before I got there. I had a couple of my own, and then we got a bunch together. So it kind of depends, but we do a lot of like mixing them in together, seeing like who works well together, and that's super fun. He does some guiding down in southern Iowa a little bit at Highland Hideaway in Riverside. And I also do some guiding there. And then for mentored hunts for kids, like having a pointer is like so nice for kids and women. So I use our dogs a lot for that. And then also he does a lot of veteran hunts. And so he takes them for taking that and we have them for fun.
So actually, I don't know if your husband is interested or your boyfriend is interested. We got done talking to a Whitetail Warrior Project, and that's their big thing is it's straight disabled veteran hunts.
Yeah.
They hook, basically you just sign up for it. There you go. Here's 2 guys or 3 guys, whatever you want. Mm-hmm. You tell them exactly, I don't know, is that how it is for you guys? You tell them how many people you want, so on and so forth, and then they just, okay, we're going to go through, and they actually go through their DD214s, everything, and they make sure that they're, don't have some crazy mental issue, and so that way you're not going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Because there is a possibility of that, but... Yeah,
his isn't so probably like official in that way. One of the pheasants, so my first, he's the president of our Pheasants Forever chapter. We're with North Butler County Pheasants Forever. And I'm on the board for that too. But the Lynn County Pheasants Forever, who's out of like the Cedar Rapids area, was the first chapter I was ever a part of and board of. They have a veterans hunt early October in Riverside also, that Thomas and I usually every year help with. And we actually need mentors and guides for that. every year too. So if you want to like give back in some sort of way, like to vets, like, and for like sometimes we have like police officers and firefighters there too. So it's just a really cool event. But he just like offers it to like a group of vets every year and like takes them like where, like out where we live on private and, you know, public, just like to give back. He offers it to vets all the time. He takes them all season long. It's not anything like, he has done it like officially, you know, but he just does it out of the kindness of his heart all the time. So
that's super cool.
Yeah.
Back to the dogs real quick. I wanted to ask you, do you go through like I'm sure you do, a safety briefing with them before you get the kids, whoever goes with you on this hunt? Like, hey, dog's there, don't shoot, kind of deal?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So we like encourage all of our mentors, and then if it's me, I'm obviously doing that. And I think I get more and more serious about it all the time because like my dogs are my children, and I love them very much and have a lot of time and money into them, and I don't want anything to happen to them. And I can't imagine how I would feel if I accidentally shot someone's dog too, right? Like how awful that would be. So I go through that and I share that, like talk about how important these dogs are to me. How like it's no bird is worth an accident. Like we go through that. We go through like your area of shooting, talking about like coming up on hills, not shooting birds on the ground, your barrel's not pointed down, which is a really hard one, especially if someone's like grown up hunting. A lot of people have their barrel like facing the ground when it needs to be up. So yeah, we go through all of that every single time because my dogs are so important, and also other people's lives are very important to me. And I know like animals worth, like getting a shot at a bird is not worth like an accident like that. And
not to just keep bringing it back to waterfowl, but it's just the way I relate and correlate with everything. Because I was the dog growing up.
Yeah, same.
You know? Yeah, so you get it. Yeah, gun was never pointed at you. It was always in the air.
Yeah.
But with waterfowl, it's kind of a different animal because there's just so much swinging going on that, I mean, I know that it's happened. I know I've probably been guilty of it, but like last year, and I'm actually not going to call him out. I do call him out a lot of times, and I don't feel like giving him shit on this one. He's a good friend of mine, but he was never really big into it, and so basically, let's say water's in front of us right here, and Colton was over here, Nicole was here, I was here, and he was over here, and I had swung, I seen Nicole was there, so I stopped, waited, and the birds were basically here. So she was back kind of more or less where you're at now. And so I felt comfortable with that swing. I took a shot, I missed. Well, then he shot over my shoulder, and like the rest of that day, it was just ringing in my ear. And Colton actually had this almost the same exact thing happen to him that day, earlier in the morning, with the same guy, and we had a little talk with him. We're like, hey, you know, that's not very safe. I don't want to get my head taken off. With the mentored hunts, like most of the time people are only taking like 1 or 2 kids at a time, and like there's a guardian there too, so it's like a really like controlled environment. But waterfowl things can get like Wild West for sure, like real fast,
like absolutely. And it can happen with any type of hunting accidents. Can happen, like it just people get excited or complacent, or they fall, or something happen. I mean, anything can happen out there. But I just like encourage all of our mentors, like, one, if they're offering to mentor and they're really serious about it, usually people who do that are like going to emphasize safety so much because they care about people. People, animals, everything. Like they don't want anyone to get hurt. They genuinely want everyone to go home and have a good time. So I always encourage like mentors and tell them, like, this is your hunt. Like, I'm helping you get started, but it's your baby, and I want you to come out alive, and the kids, you know, and everyone to be good and safe and have a good time. So we encourage everybody to be like as much about safety and repeat it as much as you can. I think the hard part, like for sure with waterfowl, is like a lot of times like you can be like kind of a big group and you get excited, and birds are coming from every direction sometimes, like if they're passing over you or whatever. So but we keep it like relatively small. Like there are times where it's been bigger groups, but we just like have to emphasize it. And like I would say this to anybody, and I feel like this is like a duh. I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know, but like at any point, if someone is not doing what you ask them to do, you just end the hunt or take their gun away.
Yeah.
I feel like you get to watch the rest of the time. You know, like if you're not going to listen and think about the safety like of others, like I would hate to do that to somebody. I would hate to ruin their time like that, but it's just like not worth it. You know,
you got to listen.
Yeah.
You have to do what the person that is taking their own time, and you know, this could be their hunting time. They could be out there with their own kid or their family or their friends.
Yeah.
But here they are wanting to give you this experience. So you need to buckle down, listen, and just, I don't want to say shut up, but sit down, shut up, and pay attention.
Yeah, and it rarely has to be that serious, right? Like, honestly, like, experience-wise with both kids, women, like adults, 99.9% of the time, everyone there is, like, trying their best to, like, absorb every bit of information you're giving them. They take it seriously. They want to have fun, but, like, they don't, you know.
Well, because they want to be there.
Yeah. So it's usually a very, like, great environment experience when people are listening. Yeah, we try to keep it like light and fun and not have, it's like a serious thing, you know, let them know this is like a big deal, but we're still having a good time.
Yeah, and that's important, to always have a good time. So we kind of got off a little bit, but I think we want a good route. Where are you going with this, with the project and everything?
Yeah, with my women's stuff, like Woods and Waters project.
That and the guiding service.
Yeah, so Pass It On Outdoor Mentors is like, we're just going to continue to grow and expand to other states, and eventually we'll have another Iowa person, hopefully. I would assume it's not like in the plan like where, but I would assume probably like a Western Iowa, like have half of the state and I'd have half the state kind of thing. Expand into Missouri, Michigan, Oklahoma, and Texas, like I said, and just continue to do. Every coordinator that there would be would probably manage 200 to 300 hunts a piece every year. Excuse me. And continue to grow and have like our team grow within the company too, and like do other things to keep helping us grow, right? And like support more kids, support more families. That's what Pass It On is doing. And then as far as Woods and Waters project, like with my women's stuff, I'm definitely in like a pivot time frame. Like I'm only one person and I'm running the whole thing. And there are people out there who are way smarter than me and better than me in so many other areas. And if I want to keep growing this thing, I can't do it by myself. So I've actually been reaching out to ladies about like joining me on my team and helping me coordinate, helping me teach, helping me do behind the scenes stuff so I can keep creating opportunities, but I can't be like 100 places at once. And eventually, even though I would like to go on all the trips and do all the things, there's no way.
But like eventually it's going to get to the point where you're going to have to rely on these other men, women.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're probably going to try to keep the Woods and Water project more woman oriented.
Yeah, it's mostly women focused as far as like the events go. I will be doing some co-ed events like this year, and like my content and stuff is very like just for outdoors people, like man or a woman. Mm-hmm. It's just that like women, there are other organizations that do what I do for women, but there's not that many, and like only 10% of the hunting population are women, so they are like underserved. And there's a whole bunch of statistics out there and information out there about how women are the quickest and biggest growing demographic in the outdoor space, like hunting, fishing, camping, all those things. It is women coming into it like tenfold, like 10 to 1 compared to men. But women drop off of it quicker too. And there's like a whole bunch of information out there like why. So like not feeling supported. They got into it because of their partner, but then the partners, you know, relationships don't last like they used to once upon a time, right? So there's just like, and there's a lot of single parents. There's a lot of like women like having kids later or not having kids. So like the world is just different and women are coming into it, but there's not like the support there. and there are a lot of wonderful men supporting these women coming into it. But I know for myself, like growing up, like my hero was like Ted Nugent, you know, like like my goal in life is to be the female Ted Nugent. Honestly,
You better pick up a guitar.
well, not like Spirit of the Wild
shit.
Ted Nugent, like not rock star Ted Nugent, you know, like the advocate conservationist, like doesn't care, stands up for the little guy, Ted Nugent, that guy. But like I didn't have women to look up to or to learn from growing up to do the things I want to do. Like I never saw someone that looked like me doing any of the things that I'm doing. So I had to just become my own role model. And I know just like from the years of doing this, I'm just like an average Iowa girl, and the amount of women and young girls I've impacted just by showing up has been huge. So like, if I don't encourage, if I'm not the one doing it, like, you know, there's only very few women who are stepping up and doing this.
Well, and I, you know, other than just yourself, you know, there's a few that I can even name off the top of my head, like, what is it? Sydney Wells, Maggie Williams, Hannah Barron, you know, they're actually all, even if they're not advocating just strictly for, you know, the woman's standpoint, they are giving women and young girls the idea that, hey, you know, they're out there doing it.
Yeah.
There's no reason I can't do it too.
Yeah.
You know, and they do it by themselves as well.
Yeah.
You know, they probably got brought into it by dad, grandpa, uncle, brother, cousin, whoever.
Yeah.
But maybe they even just picked it up on their own. I think all of the ones I just named off were just, you know,
dad
their family
influenced,
passed
I'm
it down.
pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah, but that's great. Like me too. Like mine's like I started from my dad. I didn't learn everything I know from my dad, but I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing without him taking me that first time.
So did you, to talk about your dad a little bit, did you guys hunt together quite often, or just kind of he brought you into it and then you just picked it up and ran with it?
No, we hunted together a lot, and we still hunt together pretty often. I'm like a few hours away from home, so not as much, and I'm getting older and, you know, all of that. But no, my first memory is duck hunting with my dad and my uncles when I was 4. I went deer hunting and turkey hunting and pheasant hunting and duck hunting and goose hunting with him very often. We didn't have like a bird dog, so I was the bird dog. I have, and it wasn't just like a couple times a year. Like since I was little, I go as much as like I could within my means, like with school and sports. And there were plenty of times I didn't get to start or play because I'd miss practices because I was going hunting. And that was like priority to me, and my family was very supportive of that, and I don't regret that at all. But yeah, tons with my dad. And even I thought this is like a cute story, like something he told me. Well, there was like this like kind of little lull there when I was like in middle school, like elementary to middle school, where I went hunting a ton, but I didn't like get anything. And there was some property that we had permission hunting kind of all over the Scott County, Clinton County area. And I remember my parents were like very protective people. But like, so like when I was little, he would like sit me in a tree and like leave me like all day. And I like remember thinking like, that's crazy, given like how like protective of like a family I have, you know, I'm like, that they just let me do that. And then like, this wasn't even that long ago, I said that to him. I was like, that kind of surprises me that you just like left me. He's like, do you really think that I just like left? He's like, I'd always be like 30, 40 yards away behind a tree. I'm like, that's why I didn't get anything for years. That's why I didn't get anything.
He was always blowing
like
the scent all over
creeping,
the
you know,
place.
and like back then I think he like smoked cigarettes a lot, you know, and stuff. So like, and he didn't care about camo, and he shot a ton of animals. Like he is a very successful hunter.
He's the old school kind.
Yeah, he is. And like you could always see where my dad, like he doesn't smoke anymore. But like there were certain properties like you could see which tree he was in, because he had like a little like ashtray like built into the tree, you know. Like I've seen him shoot a deer with a cigarette in his mouth. He just opened a Pepsi can and it like echoed, and then he like shot a deer, you know. Like, and so
it's kind of wild the things you can get away with in the woods, though. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, where you just be out there and you do something super duper loud, and you kind of start looking around like, oh God, and there it is. And it didn't even notice, whatever you're hunting, turkey, deer, pheasant, whatever. It doesn't even notice that you're there.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, that worked out a lot better than I thought.
Yeah.
But then the next time you're out there and you like, brush the blind or like you just crack a stick and you see whatever's in front of you just like gone.
It is crazy. No, that is so crazy. That's I've been watching a lot of what I watch on TikTok is just like podcast snippets, and then I like get into that podcast. But I've been watching a ton on like scent control lately because I grew up like that. Like I hunted a lot. Like it wasn't like my dad just took me youth season and literally like he took me with me. I just wanted to like hang out with him, and like he didn't really probably know even how to raise a girl. He just like took me with, and we just like figured it out together. Like thinking back, like I think when I got a little older, maybe when scent control became more popular, he started to like, he'd spray my boots or something with like autumn scented whatever, but we didn't really like care about that like as much, and we didn't not see animals, you know what I mean? So like, because I have a lot of thoughts. And
so are you trying to say that scent control is a gimmick? Or are you not trying? You're not trying to say that it's wrong.
I'm not trying to say. I think at the end of the day, like there is always a dash of luck with everything and circumstances, right? There is a dash of that in every situation with hunting, and being in the right place at the right time. But that's like like what you're doing when you're hunting, right? You're trying to be in the right place at the right time and outsmart that animal in its own home. So, like scent stays a lot longer than like I think we talk about. I think that scent stays on the leaves, the grass, the trees, wherever our stands, whatever. I think like the wind and where you're coming from and not over hunting a place is way more important than like what you smell like. I don't care if I just like got done doing my makeup, hair covered in perfume, head to toe, not wearing camouflage. Like I can still shoot a deer successfully in the right circumstance and play in the wind and the
location
and scouting correctly. That is like way more important. I just think like scent control is like a tool in your tool belt to like help lessen your smell. But I think a lot of it's gimmicky. Not all of it. Like I think there's a place, like I still use it. Like there's ones I believe in.
You just said there's a place for it, and I think there's a place for it because there's a guy that lives in this town, and the people are gonna know who I'm talking about that know. I think September 1st, he will start only showering with unscented. He'll only wear unscented deodorant. He'll only wash his clothes in unscented detergent. What's is it softener? I think it's like
fabric softener.
Yeah, he won't use that at all. Like he tells his wife, like, nope, can't wash any of my stuff. So he has to, all of his stuff gets washed separately from everything, and he's just completely goes as scentless as possible. And it's played. The guy, if you were to go walk in his shop right now, your jaw would probably drop. It looks like a museum. There's just animals everywhere. Yeah,
no, like, and I have a scent control bag for my clothes. If I'm traveling or going places, like if I put it in a tote, I have like the scent like cones in there, but I also throw like sticks and like pine cones and like dirt like on my clothes. I do all of that, and I don't like. I do think that is like maybe like worth doing, and that if that's like your process, I think that's awesome. And like, who am I to say, like, if this guy has like a bunch of monsters in his shop, it is. But it's also like, I listened to a podcast once of Lee and Tiffany Lakowski that was really good about like also like what your scent represents to that deer, right? So like if they don't even know like your scent, if you don't smell like danger, like it's irrelevant to them, right? Or if they're used to people or whatever that, and like it's hard to know what you're triggering for that animal, right? Like you don't really know. So I don't know. I've been going down this. I go down rabbit holes all the time. Scent control has been the rabbit hole I've been recently going on because I'm like kind of like on the fence either way, but I think that they like cigarette smoke. Well,
I had a buddy. So speaking of scent control, I had a friend, and this is probably past the statute of limitations because people might consider it baiting. But I think we were like 15 or 16 at the time, and he dipped like crazy. I mean, he rolled his truck one time and like 50 cans fell out, and he told the cops, like, "Yeah, it's my dad's truck," you know.
Oh my God.
And so he always chewed cherry flavored Skull or something like that, and he said that morning he walked in with a huge dip in, and he just, as he's walking, and he said literally the deer walked in, and everywhere he spit, the deer would dip its head down. It would walk and it would dip its head down. And I don't know if he shot that one or not. I don't remember. I really actually don't remember. I'm not even trying to do it for him, but I don't remember. But he said that was his thing. It just proved to him.
There was a scent control that I went deer hunting with a buddy a few years ago, and he used cherry like scent control. And one, it smells like way good. And I I've tried a whole bunch of different brands of scent control, and have had, I don't know if I've ever had like a negative experience. I've definitely had ones where they looked at me and it's like they like inhaled me. Like they weren't spooked by me, but they were like, "What is that?"
Like the ozone layer type scent.
Like the hammer one. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like a red. That one, like the deer didn't run off, but it was like like looking up and like it wasn't spooked. It's like it liked the smell, but it was like looking for it. The cherry was a very similar experience. Like they were not scared, but they wanted to know where that was coming from. Like they really wanted to know what it was. Because
that makes sense. I mean, as a trapper, when I'm trapping muskrats, that's one of my favorite scents to use is cherry, because it is a magnet. For muskrats.
Yeah.
Even
that's cool.
Raccoons and everything too.
Yeah.
They get caught in muskrat traps once in a while. Usually not. Usually they step in it and get their hand out because, muskrat traps are a lot smaller. You don't want to break their arm. But yeah, makes sense that they would smell that, a deer would smell that and go, "Oh, that smells awesome. Where's this at?" Same as muskrat. "Oh, I'm going to find it and eventually get caught."
Yeah.
So that I could see that it would smell it and like look directly at you.
Yeah.
Because isn't that a thing with deer? If they smell you, hear you, anything, that they know within like 2 feet or something like that?
Oh, I don't know like what the numbers are for that, but I just know that they have like an incredible like memory associated with their nose, right? Like the bit like they're.
Oh, I didn't
like,
know.
It's not even like a memory. It's probably as much of like a reaction. Like their memory bank in their nose is like a crazy amount of sense. So like they can remember, like, this is like probably not a good example maybe, but like cherry, I didn't get shot at when I smelled cherry last time. So like that's a safe smell. Or there wasn't some weird shadow creature in the tree last time I smelled cherry.
No, that absolutely makes sense.
Yeah. And that's what I mean by like association. With the Lee and Tiffany Lukowski podcast I mentioned that I listened to, it was just talking about like, they manage these big properties and their scent is everywhere. So like their scent does not scare the deer because they also feed the deer. So like that's part of like what people like misunderstand, it's like they're not shooting over feeders, but like they're not scared of their smell.
Well, it's kind of like associated with a combine. Deer know combine rolls around, feeding time. Yeah. Like
there's a positive
a positive reaction to it, because that's one of the deer that I'm trying. So you're gonna like this. My daughter's 6, and this will be her first year out hunting, like actually firing a gun. Yeah. She's gone with me since she was 3 duck hunting, because you can be loud, you could kind of be boisterous and move around and everything. And and I always told her, like, when I start calling, you freeze. It was perfect because she always would too. And she went turkey hunt with me this year. I did not let her shoot. I don't know why. She was 5 at the time. I should have just let her, but either way, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to take her youth hunting this year with a 20 gauge on one of those bog death grips, and just kind of mitigate the feeling of it. I don't know. I just thought it might help. Yeah. And but there's a deer that's on this property that my buddy, every time he's harvesting, gets pictures of it and sends it to me. And it's the only time we get to see it hard-horned, other than during squirrel season. So I'm hoping this year we're in a new spot. So we're completely separated from all farms, the only thing that's there. Nah, I'm not going to say it. Because people that know.
I wondered, like, on this show, like, being like, if local people are like writing stuff down, you guys say, like, go here.
Well, the thing is, so the really cool thing is, we're going to start managing this property, and all he asks is that we help him clean it up. And, I help him work there. I help him on his farm a lot. I literally was just doing chores for him. Not the full chores, but just some little piddly chores that he needed done that he asked me to do. And he's like, oh, I'll give you some money or a bottle of liquor or something. I'm like, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. And he kept like telling me, oh, go to my house and just grab a bottle of booze. I'm like, and I forgot, and I told him, I'm like, I didn't even grab it. Like, don't worry about it. So we kind of have that relationship. And so what a lot of people don't understand is that they won't get in there. I've never asked him not to let people in there, but because I told him, like, hey, there's a guy that hunted there a lot longer than me. His name is Steve. And he's like, he asked me, he goes, are you cool with him going there? I was like, yeah, absolutely. Let him go there, please. Like, allow this land to, be hunted by multiple people.
Yeah.
But when it comes to archery season or youth deer hunting or turkey hunting, it's kind of, without even a say, just locked down. He lets first and second season hunter go there for a shotgun, but that deer is gone by then. I only know of one group in first season that has actually even seen that deer. Everybody else is just a ghost because it goes into an area that you can't go into. So it's kind of one of those deals. But what's that?
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, but this little section that we're going to be hunting is literally just a tiny little corner of this 300 acres, I think is what it is, or 300 something odd. And it's, I think, 5 acres in total. It's just a tiny little piece of timber separated by the neighbors through fence, and it's all bluff and real thick. And there's a deer trail that kind of comes up around a corner. It's super easy to access for a little kid. Has one creek to cross. It's real small, easy to cross. I'll just throw her on my back and cross and make her walk in with me. It's the access point. The deer won't be there. It's tucked up against this hillside that kind of gives us a nice backdrop. Trees will come over top, give us good shadow if there's moon. I mean, it kind of is just a perfect little area. Super easy to access it. I can just either walk in or I can drive my truck in and stay parked a few hundred yards away, shut the lights off and drive real slow down the access road, because that we kind of figured out where the deer is bedding, and we'll be able to skip by him and not bust him.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's exciting for her.
I only want her want her to shoot this deer.
Yeah.
Like, no offense to Wesley, but I want her to shoot it way more than I want him to shoot it.
I'm like wondering, like, when he listens back to this, like, all the deer conversation we had, if he's like, idiots.
He knows way more about it.
No, I know, like, he loves deer hunting, so I just like joke and say that, because I love deer hunting too. I think we talked about this the very first time I met you guys too. Like, I love all of it, but like, I think I love bird hunting and small game hunting even more than I love deer hunting. Yeah. Like, I could talk about deer hunting all day. I totally can understand how it becomes someone's like entire obsession and like personality. I 100% get it. But like, I feel like they just haven't bird hunted enough. They just don't know what they're missing, is what I think.
Funny you bring that up. So Wesley, his thing was, he never went turkey hunting, never went duck hunting, never went, I don't even think he went pheasant hunting or anything like that. Just squirrel, rabbit, and deer his whole life. And he always thought that turkey were just a dumb bird. Yeah. Like, this could be easy to get a bird. They're so stupid. Well, I took him out, and I remember we were sitting there that morning, the very first morning we hunted together. And I don't remember which farm it was on, but I can remember like the scene around us, and it was just pow, 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 pow. And then there's one property that we actually got permission for this year, and it was just going lighting up over there. And he's like, "Oh man," he's like, "this is so cool." I'm like, "I told you." And we had a turkey come, I don't know, probably 20 yards from us, and he wouldn't shoot it. It was through this like dilapidated fence, and I know I've told the story, so I'm not going to go through it. I know the people listening here are probably like, "Oh my God, this story again."
Turkey stories are always good stories.
You're damn right. But there's this dilapidated fence between him and the turkey, and I'm like, "Dude, I will fix that fence. I know who this fence is. Like, I am fine with you shooting this area." I'm sure he would be fine with it too, because I will come back with brand new wire and fix this whole section. Shoot the turkey. No.
Oh,
fine.
no.
So he didn't get that one, and this was a beautiful one. And then he ended up getting this, it's the little fan up there behind you, with a little beard like that. He ended up getting that, and he loved it. Right then and there, he was hooked.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to knock anybody for shooting a Jake, especially for their first one.
Yeah.
If you shoot a Jake in your first one, or the last day, the first turkey you ever shoot, or the last day of season, I ain't knocking you. Between that, I might give you some shit. Because why?
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're in a different state, and there's a lot of factors to it.
For sure.
But somebody around here, a buddy of mine, that would, if our friend Cody were to shoot a Jake, I'd be like, "Really, dude? Really?" And then he was hooked. Got him another turkey this year, and now he ain't never going back. He can't not turkey hunt.
Good.
And then for bird hunting again, I took him duck hunting last year. He's super afraid of water. Just doesn't really want to get on a boat, doesn't want to do any of that. So I have this little 1436 he's going to go out on this year.
That's exciting.
A super scary boat to be out in the river.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Especially when there's like 15-mile-an-hour wind. Yeah, not a place you want to be. I'll go.
It builds character. He'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
He's going to care a lot.
Well, hopefully you see birds and he'll get into it and won't care anymore.
He's actually shot a couple ducks already. So he didn't want to boat in. Took him down to Green Island, and we walked and freaking walked. I got there at midnight. He gets off at 2:00 in the morning. It's opening day. Luckily, I got there at midnight. I didn't walk in till midnight hit. Well, I get out there. I don't see any lights, no nothing. Yeah. Get sat, and they must have heard me coming, because they flipped their lights on, and they must have been out there since probably 11 o'clock, sleeping out there or something.
Yeah, that's what we did. We went to Green Island too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we always slept in our boat. Just misery. As a kid. Yeah. That's so much fun.
Yeah, but, you can't be out there before midnight.
Right. No,
Yeah.
We camped and we slept in our vehicles until it was time to get in your boat, and then you slept in your boat.
Yeah. Well, I went home that night at 9 o'clock, something like that. Got up in the morning, at 11 at night, grabbed all my stuff, and walked out. Because he didn't want to take a boat, and I didn't know the route to get into this little slough by boat.
Yeah.
Because I don't really hunt Green Island a whole lot. I don't really like it anymore. I like being on the big river. I like being in big waters. That's where a lot of the action seems to be anymore, in my experience. And so then we walked out, or I walked out by myself, waited for my one buddy. He got out there about 1:30 in the morning. And then I waited for Wesley and Tyson to get out there with Tyson's wife. And then they all finally came out. And we had a really good day. I mean, everybody got birds. It was kind of a mixed bag of everything. So it was a lot of fun. Wesley and Tyson both shot their first bird at the exact same time. That's awesome. Right directly in front of me. It was beautiful.
That's cool.
So yeah, they're both. Tyson, he'd only ever deer hunted before, and he did that when he was younger. And now he is just completely obsessed with duck hunting.
Yeah.
When I tell you obsessed, it's like a drug.
I love when personalities like that find different types of hunting, and then it's just flip of they just become all in, all the gear, all the things. I think that's awesome.
He's going to buy a boat to hunt. And this is only his second year duck hunting.
That's awesome.
I'm like, you might want to just relax on that a little bit, you know?
Like ease into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like, I know not everybody like loves the outdoors, loves hunting, but I am like convinced that there is a type of hunting that everybody would love.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Like even the non-hunters who've never done it before, who just don't like the bugs, don't like the heat, don't like the cold, whatever. I am convinced like there is a type of hunting for everybody that would like spark something.
I think turkey hunting would be a good one for the people that don't like the bugs. Maybe not the cold wise, but you can get those days.
But you can get up early and there's ticks. So
I guess I only ever find like one or two.
That's my
ticks on me.
negative about turkey hunting, but I don't care about that.
Do you get a lot of ticks? Because I feel like I was just talking to my buddy about this the other day. I never find ticks on me. Maybe one a year.
Yeah. Another rabbit hole. You should totally go down this rabbit hole on ticks. But it has to do with like your blood type and your pheromones. And if you are not the biggest person in the crowd to like letting off the most heat, you're not going to get as many ticks on you as the other person either.
I am
like totally a thing.
A fairly large human.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what your crew's like. I don't know. I'm not, I find a couple ticks on me a year, but like I'm talking like 2, thank goodness. My boyfriend, lots of my friends find, like, my boyfriend is not a turkey hunter. He says he hates it, but he's a liar. I took him twice and he talks about it. He talks about it like with some like appreciation, you know, but he says he hates it. But I'm like, you're a liar. You just haven't done it enough times. But I'm not kidding. The first time I took him, we walked the exact same path back. He had like 30. I had 1.
What?
Yeah. And he's like 6'3", like,
yeah, he's a big
guy. But, and then we sat down up against this like fence, pretty much on Tick Mountain. It seemed like I had 2 and he had like 15. So
what?
Not him, like just some people attract ticks more than others. It's like a pheromone and blood type thing. I don't know.
My blood type is A negative, but I don't know what kind of pheromones I got, but whatever it is, I'm cool with it because I rarely get ticks.
Yeah, I really do too. I do get a couple a year, but not more than that.
And it's always the weirdest place that you find them. Like you get home, you shower, and you're just hanging out, and all of a sudden you have a tick crawling up your leg. It's like, where did you come from?
Yeah, gross. They do give me the EBGBs though, like every time I find one or see one on somebody, I'm itchy like the whole season.
Yeah.
I get over it pretty fast once I like am there.
Yeah.
And I go,
I'm like looking at the back of my knees like, do I got a tick there?
Because it's scary. Like Lyme's disease is like at an all-time high for people and animals, and also there's other diseases that they can give you that can really mess you up. So, and I know a lot of people who have had or have Lyme's disease. So it's like, it is like super common. So it's really important, no matter if you get them very much or not, to check yourself, check other people. It can encourage people. Like they said, like when COVID happened, there's like an increase in outdoor activities. There's a huge increase in Lyme's disease because a lot of people who were not outdoorsy became outdoorsy and they don't know to check for ticks. And so it's like a whole thing. So check for ticks.
So, a good thing about Lyme, well, not a good thing at all. It's actually very devastating. And I didn't know if you knew this or many people listening knew this. It can cause organ failure and it can kill you very, very easily.
Yeah. It can cause failure of like just about everything, depending on how everybody's body's different, But yeah, absolutely.
What did my buddy, so I went to high school with a guy, his name's Chase. He was in the hospital in the ICU for like 3 weeks. Fighting for his life. I'm pretty sure his heart stopped a couple times, if I remember the story that he told me correctly. It almost killed him.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in a bad spot.
Yeah.
And luckily we have the modern medicine that we have now that saved his life. Otherwise he would have been dead.
Yeah.
And he's had Lyme's disease. I think this is like his 3rd time he's ever got it. Mm-hmm. So it's
and I
serious.
really encourage people to like keep up to date on your dogs, like for that, because when I was at the vet last, for one of my dogs, we were just like I'm like up to date all the time on all their vaccinations and everything that they need. Cause our dogs like are working dogs and they're with other dogs and the elements all the time. So we really try to do a good job of that. And the doctor's telling me like nothing's wrong with this dog. It's just like an update shot, but we're gonna test for Lyme's and heartworm. It's just like a normal thing. He's like telling me, he's like, yeah, he's like, it is like at an all-time high in people. He's like, we just don't have the right, like we don't do the right testing on people. There's so many people living, you know, like walking amongst us who have all these health issues. And if they got tested, some of them would find that they have Lyme's or like, you know, their body's like fighting it off, you know, kind of thing. I'm paraphrasing. I'm not a doctor or a vet. But as he's saying this, I'm like not even worried about my dogs because I've been like up to date. And well, one of my dogs, like my soul dog, it just like comes, his name's Straight, George Straight. And it comes up positive and I'm like, no. Like, no, like I feel like we just like manifested this or something. He's like, well, it's really faint. We'll do it again. If it comes back, then we're going to have to like get him on something and send it in. So it comes back, it says it again. And thank goodness, I was just like a mess for 3 days. Like he seemed fine, you know, I was super worried about him. And they're like, his body from having like the antibodies to fight it off or however that works, was fighting it off and he's fine.
Oh, nice.
But like, because he's been up to date on his stuff for a long time, like if he hadn't, he did come in contact with, they can tell that the tick had Lyme's, but that his body fought it off. So like, I was really grateful for that. Very, very grateful because that can be and dogs can survive it like people can, but they can also die from it. And so keep your dogs, like just because they're working hunting dogs, I'm sure people do, but like sometimes people can be kind of rough on those dogs, you know, because they're outside and they're tough, but like keep up on that. It's like a big deal.
Yeah, no, it is a super big deal. Yeah, Lyme's disease is scary. But I think we can actually end it there. This was a great podcast. We went down a lot of avenues.
Yeah, we like got totally off subject. I got like it was great though.
Yeah, I know there's like 100 different things we could talk about.
Yeah.
But I know that you want to get going because you got your Kansas trip coming up, which is not exciting. She told me it's nothing exciting.
Well, it's like not exciting. I just don't know if it's like people want to listen to it podcast wise. The company I work for is based out of Kansas, so we're meeting about like just like goals and future of the company and where we're going and like what we're trying to accomplish. And it's like a real business, a real thing, you know, so that is exciting.
Real suit and tie.
Yeah. And then I want to say like a shout out the next weekend after that, I'm going to Tennessee to go hog hunting with dogs.
That's
in the like Cumberland Mountains with a bunch of ladies who are part of Artemis Sportswomen. I've helped that organization and taught some classes with them and stuff. And I get invited back to like help and then also hunt with these ladies, and it's an all-female hunting lease.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, I think it's like the only one that exists. I would assume. I've never heard of another one, but that's like in 2 weeks. And then I leave for Kentucky to go after a velvet buck.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I wanted to share that because it's gonna be like crazy. And then it's hunting season in Iowa, and then I'm like on fire planning events and coordinating stuff. But yeah, it'll be an exciting time.
Sounds like you got a busy next, 4 months coming? 5 months?
I know what I'm doing every single weekend from now till March.
I know what I'm doing every single weekend from now till, the end of May?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hunting.
Yeah, hunting, yeah. No, yep, for sure.
Oh, I do, I almost forgot. Got to plug Long Branch Game Calls. This is their grunt tube. It sounds awesome. I'm not going to sit here and blow it right now because I suck at it. Wesley's really good at it. He has a video on his Instagram if you want to look it up. Midwest Game Hunter. But Long Branch is a great company. They make great calls. They're custom calls, so they're a little bit on the higher end. They're out of Pennsylvania. It's all USA made. There's nothing that's foreign. So what do they always say? The tariffs you got to worry about. But they just came out. They just dropped an elk call. They are working on predator calls. They have turkey calls, deer grunt calls, and I'm not gonna bring up what they might be working on for me. But so thank you for coming. We really appreciate you. It was an awesome podcast. So
I love talking to you guys and like being a part of it, and I really appreciate you spreading the word so we can get more kids and ladies and just people out hunting, because it directly or indirectly impacts that family too, and we can just like make a whole mess of at least advocates for hunting, right? So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate that.
No, and we appreciate you coming on. You're one of our first guests that we've ever had. And hopefully we can keep this relationship up where you just keep coming on
Yeah, I would love to.
every year and just kind of keep it flowing.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So as we end every podcast, stay safe, enjoy the hunt, and know the outdoors.